Hey, you guys, Mr. Waltz here. So we got all the pieces in here. The only thing we got to do now is put on our nuts and our screw. So I'm going to go in the browser and turn on the visibility. You can see I got my M3 screw over here, my M3 nut over there, and then there's the big 5/16 nut. So we'll do that 5/16 nut first. It's going to be a rigid joint. So we're going to do J for joint. Make sure you have rigid selected. For the nut, what we want to do is use the origin. So over here in the browser, you can see 5/16, 18 hex nut. Expand it. There's origin, and the O is the origin point. So we're going to click that. So that's going to be our joint origin for there. So it's basically the center of it. And what we want to do is go in here and look at this top. This center top circle here, that's got the middle of the hex hole. So I can click there and then it'll put the nut right in there. And I'm going to click OK. And you can see how it places it right in there. It looks like it's coming through the wood. Remember, we made the hole a little bit smaller than the nut to make it fit tightly. So that's good. And then we just have to make copies of it. So components, when you do the move copy, pick your nut there. Make sure you create a copy. We'll put a copy over here. Move copy again, create a copy, and put one over here. And then we just do the same joint process again. J for joint. You'll see your two new 5/16 nuts here in the bottom of the browser. Find the origin on the first one, O, and then find this circle. Remember, it's going to be the middle circle, not the front one, not the back one. It'll look like it's sticking out too far because it hides the front rotor, but when you hit OK, you'll see it go into place. And then we'll close that up. J for joint again. I'll do this last nut, origin, O, and rotate over here. I want the middle circle right there. Hit OK. And then you got all your nuts in there. Grab your nuts, give them a jiggle, make sure everything fits okay. Looks good. You can hit Control Z to put things back the way they were. If you rotated too much, you can see I have 2 degrees on the joint here. You can also right click on the joint and tell it to go to home position. We'll put it back if you move things around. Last thing to do is we're going to put the M3 screw in. That's real easy. It's going to be a rigid joint. Use this circular face here, or circular edge rather. Put that on the inner hole here. Shazam. Hit OK. Then we'll get the nut. J for joint. There we go. So notice you get there, you get that point. You got to get that center point to show. Can be tricky. There we go. It's showing center point. And then we're just going to put this right in here. We're going to get the edge of the hole in the hub. So make sure you're not getting part of the screw. You want to get the hub there because that's going to go in. We'll screw the nut on there until it's touching the hub. Okay. And you can hit OK. And you can see it goes in there. That's just enough. Nut doesn't quite go all the way onto the screw, but we got enough engagement there. And you can go home. And then if you did everything right, you find the Revolute joint here, this little flag, right click, tell it to animate model, and it should spin the whole model like you were spinning the spinner, which is pretty cool. All right. So at that point, you're done with the modeling here, and you can go on to the later videos, save your stuff, and go on to the later videos. We'll show you how to do an exploded view, and then we'll do a set of drawings for this. And then after that, you can customize it once you've done the basic design, customize it, and we'll cut these out on the laser, and you guys can have something to take home. Give it to your dad for Father's Day. All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.